The heading for the notes today are Chapter 4, Section 2, Simplifying Expressions. So we first need to just go over a couple definitions. These are words that I'm going to continuously use in class. And the first one is an algebraic expression. So an algebraic expression is a math expression that uses variables to represent numbers. A couple examples of what an algebraic expression are. One example, 5x. That's a math expression that also has a variable, 5 times x, 5x. So that's an algebraic expression. They could also have two terms, a minus 1. That's an algebraic expression. It has two terms, a and negative 1, a minus 1. And it could have more than one term or two terms. It could have three terms. It could be 2c minus 4d plus 1. All three of those are considered algebraic expressions. A couple other definitions. A coefficient. Now, a coefficient is just the number that multiplies a variable. So, the coefficient in the first algebraic expression is just the number 5. 5 is the coefficient because it's multiplying x. The coefficient in the second one, this one's a little tricky, but it's actually 1 because 1 is multiplying the a, even though it's not written there. 1 times a is what that says, 1 times a minus 1. So the coefficient there is 1. There are a couple coefficients in the third algebraic expression. 2 is a coefficient because it's multiplying the c. And then you got to be careful here. We say that this is negative 4 is the other coefficient here. And it's negative 4 because it's multiplying the d. So those are all coefficients. Those are all numbers that multiply variables. And the last definition is a constant. A constant is a plain number with no variable. It doesn't vary. It remains constant. It does not have a variable. So the first algebraic expression does not have a constant or has a constant of 0. The second algebraic expression, the constant is actually negative 1. You always have to include the sign in front of the number. In the third algebraic expression, there is a constant, and it is positive 1. So those are what we call constants. So those are just some words that we're going to continuously use in class. So I wanted you to become familiar with them. So just to practice those words, we're going to identify the coefficients and constants in each problem. The first example has the algebraic expression 5x plus 1. The coefficient, that's the number that multiplies the variable, would be the number 5. And the constant would be the positive 1. So that would be just identifying the coefficient and constant. Another example, example 2, is the algebraic expression 3x minus y minus 4. So we got to be careful here. There are actually two coefficients. One of the coefficients is 3. The other coefficient, we have to be super careful, is negative 1. Two coefficients there. And then there's one constant in that algebraic expression, and again we have to be careful. The constant is negative 4. So those are just two identification problems. Identify coefficients and constants. I'd like you to take a second to do these two examples on your own. Okay, now that you've taken a minute to do these two examples on your own, I will do them. In the algebraic expression 2x minus 6, there is one coefficient, and it is the number 2. There is one constant, and it is the number negative 6. In the second example, x minus 5y plus 8, there are two coefficients. One of the coefficients is 1, and the other coefficient is negative 5. And there is a constant in that one as well, and that's the positive 8. Good job. Now we're going to move into actually simplifying algebraic expressions. We're going to start by just combining like terms. So in example 1, the algebraic expression here says 4 times x plus 2 times x. We say that those are like terms. There are 4 x's here, and there are positive 2 more x's there. We can put those together because they are both x's. We can say I have 4 x's plus 2 more x's. The answer would be that I have 6 x's. So 6x is the answer. Example 2 is a little trickier. You have to be more careful. Let's always start with the variables. I have 3 x's here. Be very careful, because here I have negative 5 x's. So if I have 3 x's and I take 5 x's away, I'm left with negative 2x. Now let's move on to the constants. I have negative 7 here plus 4. So we're always using our integer operations. Negative 7 plus 4 would result in negative 3. So the answer to this problem is negative 2x minus 3. Take a second to try these two examples on your own and be very careful. Now that you've tried these on your own, I'll work through them quick. So on the first algebraic expression, I have 4 x's here minus 2 x's. 4x minus 2x, I'd be left with 2x. And the constants, I have positive 6 minus 1. I'd be left with positive 5. So 2x plus 5 is my answer. The second example, I'll start with my a's. I have negative 2a's here, plus, I'm going to write this in, plus 1a. Negative 2a's plus 1a would result in negative 1a, or negative a. I have positive 3b's here, minus 2b's here. 3b minus 2b would result in positive 1b, or just plus b. And I have one constant here, negative 5. There's nothing else to combine him with, I just bring him down. So my answer is negative a plus b minus 5. Good job. Now here we're going to do the same thing, but there are 2 steps. We're going to simplify the algebraic expression by distributing and then combining like terms. Distributing is a way to multiply algebraic expressions together. So we have to multiply before we can combine like terms, add or subtract. So this first example, I need to distribute the 4 first. I need to take 4 times this algebraic expression. So to do that, I'm going to do 4 times 3a. That's going to give me 12a. Then I need to do 4 times, be very careful, negative 8p. That's going to give me minus 32p. Now the other two things are just sitting there. I'm just going to bring those down. Now that I've multiplied, now I can add or subtract common terms. So I have 12a's here, minus 13a's, so I have negative 1a. My p's, I have negative 32p's plus 1p, so the result of that is minus 31p. And so my answer, it took 2 steps to do this problem. My answer is negative 1a minus 31p. Okay, the second example, again, it's going to take 2 steps. I have to distribute the negative 3 to this algebraic expression first. I have to multiply those first. So I'm just going to bring the 6y down. I'm not going to touch that yet. And I'm going to distribute this negative 3 to the x. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x or minus 3x. And the negative 3 times the negative 2y is, be careful, negative times a negative is a plus 6y. Again, not touching these things, I'm just going to bring these down. Now that I've multiplied the things that I can, now I can combine like terms by adding and subtracting. I'm going to start with the y's here. I have 6y's plus another 6y's. So that's going to give me 12y's. I have negative 3x plus 3x. Those are exact opposites. I'm going to cancel, those cancel each other out. Those together make 0 x's. I don't have to write that. I'm just going to cancel them out. And then last, I have the negative 7 still sitting out here. So my answer is 12y minus 7. Take a minute to try these 2 problems on your own. Now that you've had a chance to try these on your own, let's do them together. I'm going to go a little quicker this time since I've explained the previous 2. So I'm going to distribute the 4 here. Now I can combine like terms. I always start with my x's. So I have 8x here plus another 8x is 16x. I have 3 here minus 20 is minus 17. So my answer is 16x minus 17. Check to make sure you got that. Okay, example 2. I'm going to bring the a down. I'm going to distribute the negative 4. Got to be so careful with those negatives. That's going to give me minus 8a. Negative is going to give me plus 20. Bring the plus 3a plus 13 down. Now I can combine like terms. I have 1a here minus 8a plus 3a. I like to do my positives first. So 1a plus 3a gives me 4a. Minus 8a gives me negative 4a. And I have positive 20 plus 13 more gives me plus 33. So my answer is negative 4a plus 33. Nice job, guys.